In this video, I'm going to be walking you through exactly how I went from 0 to 5 million views with social media, short form content specifically, and more importantly, what I did to make sure that those views actually turned into tangible results for my actual offer that I run on the back end. And so without further ado, in the next like 5 or 10 minutes, I'm going to be walking you through every single part of it. So to hop straight into it, the first thing you want to do as, a coach, a content creator, a business owner stepping into social media to build an audience to get more leads for your business, the first thing you want to do is get clear on your targets and your goals. Why are you even posting content in the first place? Who are you trying to target? What's the goal, right? Is it to build an audience? Is it to, just get leads and make money? Like, what exactly is this target? What exactly is this goal? Because that's really going to determine how we move forward with specifically putting out this content and really just moving the campaign forward. And so what this looks like more specifically though, it's defining who you're really creating content for, like who's your target audience, who's your ICP, and then getting into like more points about them, identify their specific pain points and desires, determine what actions you want them to take, like what's that clear path for them to move forward as a lead, establish clear metrics for your success growing on social media. And so once again, are you, posting for traffic, for views to build an audience, have an evergreen personal brand? Are you, simply just growing your brand and posting content for, leads, traffic to a landing page, traffic to a website? And so getting clear on those metrics is really going to help for actually achieving that specific goal. And it varies person by person what that exact approach and goal is. There is no one goal that fits all for social media. And so next thing is to really build everything around solving their problems, right? With a value first approach. And so you want to have all this data in the first place, right? A lot of people go into it blindly and they don't really have this clear goal in their head. And that's why, they'll get the wrong result or they won't get enough results because they don't actually know what that target, what that goal is in the first place. And so what social media success is for them. And so my personal approach here, to show you kind of what this looks like for me, is that for me, I target coaches, consultants, and service providers. And the main pain points that I know of are the inconsistent flow of leads, the low quality prospects, things like that. And so my main goal is to build a trust funnel that actually generates clients. My approach is more tailored to getting actual leads for the business. It's not so tailored to just reaching as many people as possible, being an influencer, being a content creator. That's not really where I'm monetizing. So it doesn't really make sense for me just because of my offer. And so it might be different for someone else. Or it might be the same. So it really depends what that goal is and what you're doing on the back end. And so in terms of metrics though, what I'm tracking is views, engagement. So what percentage of people out of those views actually did engage, my lead quality, and my conversions from social media. And so the next step here is going to be to build a strategic content system, but only using this data in the first place, right? You have to have this in the first place. And so what this looks like is first starting with creating content pillars that align with your offer, then going into developing a multi-platform distribution strategy. And so what does that actually look like putting out the content? What are the different formats, things like that? And then build out this content that addresses all levels of awareness with your prospects. And so this really helps if you have these content pillars down in the first place to know how are we spreading out the different touch points of this content and what content is made for what type of progress with moving this, audience and leads forward. Next step that a lot of people skip is implementing a clear path from content to conversion. Right. And so you can't just go into content and just put it out because it could be a big waste of time, right? If you're a business owner, if you're putting content out for the sole purpose of pushing it to the offer, but you don't have a conversion path, you don't have a journey map for these leads to go from, you're a stranger, watching your short form videos to, converting and actually getting on a call with you and, paying you and going into your offer, your program or whatever that is for you, then it's just not going to happen in the first place. And then the last thing here is throughout all this different content that you put out, you want to focus on value first, right? Promotion second. And so what my framework looks like for this more specifically is that my content pillars, for example, are personal branding, lead generation, and content strategy. My platform strategy is very simple. It's short form content for each and long form videos like this for trust. And then when it comes to the content types, like the formats of content I'm putting out, it's mostly educational, case studies, behind the scenes, stuff of that nature. So those are also things to kind of map out in those content pillars that you break down. And so overall though, your key success factors here are going to be number one, consistency. And so post on regular, show up when results aren't immediate because that's where a lot of people fail. Build the systems to maintain output with creating all this content. Batch create your content for more consistency to make it easier, track and analyze performance consistently. Next thing is content quality, right? So we want at the same time quality and quantity. And so, when it comes to quality, you want to focus on actually solving real problems to actually shift beliefs, provide actual, insights, actionable insights and value. back your claims with evidence, maintain high production standards, and continuously improve based on the data, right? Based on the feedback that you get from social media. Another big component that a lot of people don't realize is storytelling ability. And so getting into what storytelling really looks like, it can be a few things. It can be using personal experiences to illustrate points. It can be creating emotional connection through vulnerability. It can be structuring content with clear beginning, middle, and end, using pattern interrupts to maintain engagement, and connecting everything back to viewer transformation, right? So storytelling is very, very powerful. It's how you're going to retain more attention, build more trust and more connection with your audience. And so it's definitely not something that you want to pass up. You definitely don't want to have bland content and not a strong brand that really connects with people and evokes emotion. And so it's definitely another layer of this whole content strategy and distribution that you want to keep in mind. And so I'll leave you with this note right here. The difference between 0 and 5 million views really isn't luck. It's strategic content with consistent execution. And so if you are a coach, business owner, info product seller, anything like that, and you're looking to dial in your content and grow your personal brand to get more lead flow, what you can do is book a call below to speak directly with me so that I can audit your entire situation right now and see if there'd be anything to really optimize or what the best moves forward would be. But that wraps it up for this video. See you guys in the next one.